Hi, everyone. I'm Stephanie Sy. It has been more than a week since Hurricane Maria made landfall on the island of Puerto Rico. But some people are only just receiving assistance. President Trump defended the government's response Friday.
That's been going, as you know, really well. It's been total devastation. We have over 10,000 people in Puerto Rico right now. We're getting truck drivers because the people from Puerto Rico, the drivers just aren't there. They're looking for their homes. They have a lot of other problems. Likewise with the police force. But I think it's going really well considering.
The president is expected to visit Puerto Rico next week. Acting Secretary of Homeland Security Elaine Duke arrived there Friday after receiving criticism for saying the relief effort in Puerto Rico was a, quote, good news story.
There's much more work to do, and we'll never be satisfied. That's why we're here. That's what we're saying until people are back in their homes, the schools are open, and everything is safe.
Omar Villafranca is in Yabucoa, the town where the hurricane first made landfall.
The tiny fishing village of Playa El Negro was the first to feel the wrath of Hurricane Maria. Many of the homes are now unlivable, but families here have nowhere else to go. Yasmin Torres is trying to survive after losing everything, including the roof over her head.
This is now where she's sleeping. She's sleeping outside her hard house into a soft-sided tent. That's all she's got, but it got wet because it's still raining here.
Today, the first government relief finally rolled into the southeastern part of the island, 9 days after the storm. Residents were evacuated. They returned home hungry and thirsty.
Okay.
Manolo Morales was grateful to receive squash to eat. He's been eating canned sardines, capturing rainwater in barrels and pots just to have something to drink. We met this young and desperate couple begging for supplies for their 6-month-old baby.
¿Tienes leche para el bebé? No. I asked if they have any milk for the baby. They do not. So this is the first help they're seeing. Hopefully there's some milk for the baby.
Residents here hope there are more relief supplies on the way and that the government does not forget about them. Stephanie?
Omar, what are they saying to you they are most in need of when it comes to relief?
I talked to some representatives from the mayor of the town that we were in Puerto Rico. Really basic things: water, food, diesel for people who do have generators, medicines, just simple medicines, even antibiotics, and insulin for people here on the island. If they haven't had insulin in more than a week, their supply may be running out, and those people may be, in some serious trouble where they may have to go to a hospital.
Yeah, those are literally life and death situations. Local officials in Puerto Rico, as you know, have been critical of the U.S. federal response. What have you been hearing from people there? Do they apportion blame?
They do. They are blaming a lot of the federal government. They're saying they're glad they're here now, but they should have been here earlier. In the region that we were at, the Yabucoa region, they were saying that FEMA came just a few days after the storm made landfall to set up paperwork, but everything that they were giving them, they couldn't eat. They needed actual food. They needed actual water, things that they could hand out to the citizens. The people that we ran into today, they worked for the mayor's office. They managed to harangue some water and just simple squash and then some non-perishable stuff to give to people so they could actually have something to eat. You're talking people who had been home 8-9 days at this point and were living off sardines, tuna, crackers, whatever they were growing in their backyard, whether it just be simple like tomatoes or papayas that we saw growing. That had been their meal for the last week. And that's what they want now. They want real supplies from the government.
So you also, Omar, have been embedded with the military units that are now on the ground there. What progress are you seeing with the military there? And what are the remaining challenges as far as the military is concerned to how to distribute these supplies?
The Marines that they were with, and credit to them, they have been doing a good job. They've been clearing roads, because one of the big things, we've seen pictures of all the supplies that are in the port. Problem is getting actual drivers and then getting them on the trucks and clear roads to get them to places that really need it. The Marines that we were talking to, they had cleared 13 miles of road in 4 days, and they were trying to go up to a tower so they could fix those towers. That way they could bring bigger cargo airplanes into San Juan to distribute around the island. But when you're talking a Category 5 hitting, you're talking not only trees in the way, roads that are washed away because of mudslides, and not only that, the roads being gone, mudslides, and then they have to get power lines out of the way and start setting them up as well. So it is a long process. The Marines have really been doing yeoman's work around here.
Yeah. How long, any idea, will the military personnel be there? And any idea what kind of timeline Puerto Ricans are looking at before things start to resemble normal there?
Well, as for the military question, the Marines were on the island of Puerto Rico the day after the hurricane came, but with infrastructure completely just basically decimated, they've been starting since then. They do not have a return ticket home. They were in the Caribbean basically dodging 3 hurricanes. They started moving in near during Harvey, stayed for Irma, and then Maria made landfall in Puerto Rico. They were the closest, and they went in. So they've been here a while, but as far as when they're going to go, they're saying they're only going to leave when the government here tells them, we're good, thank you for your help, now you can move on to your next mission. They are ready to stay here. Now, as far as when the actual infrastructure of Puerto Rico is going to be up, FEMA is telling us that about 25% of the telecommunications are up on the island. That's it. And when it's dark like this, it's tough. This is when people are turning off their generators. So whatever signal you're going to get to be able to communicate with the mainland goes away. That is a big problem part. It could take months at the minimum where we're hearing that certain areas of Puerto Rico will actually get running water and power from a power line back into homes.
Just remarkable. Omar Villafranca, thank you so much for your reporting.